This is Justin Amazon on Friday, November 9th, 2018. And today we're kind of between these two levels and just kind of going sideways pre-market. So we've taken a little bit of a low from yesterday, later in the day. So we were kind of on this downtrend angle. I guess if I extend this, oops, not studies, I want to draw. Actually, you know what? Let me do the annotate because I haven't used that in a little while. Annotate, draw a line. There we go. Oh, there we go. Kind of connecting those. We'll see if some kind of channel, downtrend channel comes out like that. I'm just picking some points along the bottom just to kind of say we get into it. But there we go. You kind of see there's something. So, you know what? I don't think these are going to move along as I open up the day. No, I got to actually clear them. Okay. Clear drawings. But that's the idea, that we're kind of in this downtrend, pull back a little bit, maybe a little bit of a flag. And there we go. Pull back a little bit more. Right into our line at 1727.80. We'll see if we bounce here. Nope. Going on through. Oh, that's a nice hammer candle. Hey, I remembered the word hammer today. That's good. Really nice hammer candle. Let's see what happens. Okay, a little bit of a bounce. So we can look at the options just like this big hammer and then the smaller one next to it. 15 minutes in the market, something similar today, 15 and 20 minutes into the market, you know, maybe get a little bit of a bounce. And no, that's not really happened today. Okay. So had somebody taken that trade, probably would have been trailed out already down here, just the way the options move. Getting in on calls up here may have been trailed out down here. So it's not really working to go bullish. A little bit more sideways. I guess we're really totally between these two levels. And there we go. Actually duck down underneath our 1714.50 price. And this is just a really choppy day. Look at this. Nothing really directional. Okay. That's actually starting to break down. Put in a new low here. Put another new low here. The squeeze fired, but okay, now we're still recovering. So this is a really challenging day. If you got trailed out anywhere and we're looking for a place to reload, this is going to be a little more of like a sideways indecisive day. Not too much directional, just kind of like people who missed the move are probably the ones buying or selling, or they're just, you know, people who got in bearish yesterday are just kind of eking out a little bit of gains here today. We're just going really sideways. I like these two indecision candles right here, then a breakdown, but I want to see it really flush lower. And I guess it kind of retested here. And this is nice, actually. Indecision candles, breakdown, retest, and a rollover. So we can look at that and see if there's some opportunities to actually get in there. That's a nice move down. Really small candle here. Doesn't even get down to 1700, the nice round number. Looks like it's starting to bounce a little bit with a Morningstar reversal or a retest into this level. But we are getting around 1 o'clock, a little later in the day. No, comes down a little more. Okay, there we go. Start to bounce. These two, let's go back. That's a really nice candle to reverse. The high there is 1714.36, and this is forming a double bottom. This could be a retest of that neckline, and then a continuation higher. And that would have gone sideways. Yeah, just really sideways. So yeah, just really choppy. I mean, very little direction on the day. On the daily, we moved on a range of 42 bucks, which is kind of crazy. Like some of the moves we had, that's not a tiny candle, but it was just really hard to see something really getting going unless you were shorting way up here, I guess. So that was an opportunity to short. Maybe shorting off of this and holding to this low, to this line here. But if you try to get in later and take this for a ride bearish, I mean, you got to be really careful what option you're going to pick on an expiration Friday, because all the premiums trying to get sucked out. So let's go here first. Let's go look at these two indecision candles, because I kind of like those, that you could really bracket trade those. And so that's at 1140 at 1145. So let's go look at, this is the 1725 call at 1140, 1145. So the range on these were a little more than $1, so that would have been a little challenging. But you could have set it up, with a trigger, like a stop limit breakout above and a stop below. That would have been more than $1. So let's go look at 1700 puts, and at 1140, 1145, these have a range of about $1 on this one, about 80 cents on this one. So that's a little easier to do. Now you could have actually done the same thing with the stop limit above and a trigger right below. It would have been about $1, maybe tighten it up on this one, definitely tighten up on this candle. And maybe you got in at 3 and a stop down at 2. And then you got to just wait for that trade to work, because it actually gave you a better opportunity to get in here on that retest. And then it moved higher. So you could have actually gotten in 3 by 2 anywhere in the next 20 minutes. And then that would have actually moved right back up to these highs, up to $5. So that would have been 2R, which I'm not going to try and get too much more out of this kind of a day. I guess when I'm looking at this again, let me draw this. Oops. Let me draw this in. Draw this like this. So I'm coming into the peaks here a little bit. And then some more lines down here. So I'm just trying to draw this kind of a channel, downtrend channel, kind of what we had from getting into the pre-market. And then I had to turn off the annotate. And it looks like we came down and just kind of rode down along this bottom channel edge and then just ran back up the top of it. So had you had this drawn in and we're tracking that all day, what would have told you to buy though? That's the issue. It got off the line a little bit. I don't know. Other than just kind of a stair step through here, I don't really see anything that would have said, hey, now's the time to go long on this. It's really making lower lows on the day. Why would you be buying right there without even a support line? We're underneath the latest support. So on the calls, you could have maybe gotten something, but with the 1725, it didn't even make it back into the money there. You'd have to be getting into 1715 call, maybe that moved a little bit, or maybe the 1710, just to be out of the money and let some of the premium be pulled out of it. These are still, maybe around $1 range, but it would have been, it would have been great to get it, but I don't see how you could have been buying down here. Let's say you waited for this candle to form and then got in on this little pullback. So you got in, let's say you got in a low at 135 on that put, or on that call. So 135, the low on this is 347. Let's say we got in at 350. Your stop would have been 250. Okay. I guess that's $1 that could have worked, but yeah, again, there's just nothing really screaming, oh, this is a buy, get in here. This is, running up into some resistance. So, I'm kind of surprised that actually would have worked, but I don't see how you could have gotten in there. And just all this was just these little chops lower, retrace, chop lower, retrace, chop lower, retrace, chop lower, and then a rally out of it. So, this was a really, really challenging day to trade. Maybe get an R here or there and go do something else. So I don't really have very good assessment on what's going on today, but sometimes there's days like that in the market, and you just got to know which ones to really set up with some amazing risk to reward, and other days where you just, walk away. The other thing we can look at is puts right in here with the kind of this reversal up here. So this was 940, 945 on the put. 940, 945. So that would have been, so going off of the low here. So again, we're looking at the 1700 put. You could have been buying just like at the open, 2 by 1. So buying 2 by 1 and move up to 5, maybe even 4. So that would have been 2R on that kind of a stretch right there. So it's not much, but I mean, at least it's something. That was the 1700 strike, which is way down here, and we're way up here. So I guess it would be worth looking at, let's look at 1720. 1720 put just to see where the price is, what it's doing. This opened around 5. This opened a little higher, closer to 6. So 6 by 5, I guess you could have been getting in 6 by, no, that's 6 by 4. Wait, the low there was 4. Yeah, that would have been harder to do. So 1720 probably wouldn't work. And I'm not as crazy about going into these in-between strikes. Like I really like the nice round 25, every quarter strike, you know, the zeros, 25, 50, 75. Those are the ones I like to stick with. Unless there's something like today where it just chopped around and you need to find a cheaper option. Here, so the low was 3 and these lows were 320. So that's decent. I mean, you could at least have set something up. You maybe would have been setting up 3 by 2 and it wouldn't have filled. But seeing it come right back into this resistance right here. Let's see, is this a tweezer top? High and what am I looking at? Oh, these two. I was highlighting the wrong two. 10 cents apart. So these two are 10 cents apart from the high. Let me zoom in on the day. 10 cents apart on the high, so that's nice. Had you waited till this candle formed, this one had kind of a retest into the bodies of these. So we're actually looking at the 945 candle. So 945 put had a retest down to 372. So you still could have done 4 by 3, but then that would have, yeah, pretty quickly moved up to like 8. Even, you know, getting out at 6, that would have been, you know, just 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, that would have been 2R. So, but you can kind of see the choppiness of today, that it just keeps going up and down. And every time it came down to a low, it wasn't the same low, except like this one and this one. So it would have been hard to set up a trade off of this one to know exactly where the low is going to be. Once this one formed, you could have been looking for that again, but didn't come down that far. Once this one formed, maybe you got in on this one. Let's see, this is at 1145. So yeah, we're talking about this price already. So that was the indecision candles here. And you had a really nice pattern. These 4 candles here, it's a rest after battle, and then it just continues on lower. That's a really nice small candle, 1250. 1250 on the 1710. 1250 is right here. We still made lower lows here, so that wouldn't have worked. So I'm just really grasping at straws, like what really could have said, yeah, buy. This is a buy right here. So let's zoom out a little bit. We've had this monster run up. We're just pulling back a little bit with a flag. You can see that on the daily here, a little bit of a flag. My guess is this will continue on up, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, pretty lousy day to really get into a trade. The lows in here didn't even quite come down here. That's right below 1700. So 1700 looks like it's a key value. That gets annoying. So yeah, still a little bit of a gap there. We came up pretty close to 1700 here. Didn't quite get there. So 1700 is going to be a key value. If we can stay above it, okay. Maybe we can continue chopping around up here a little bit in between these lines, get some consolidation going. If we cross down into 1700, it's possible we'll get down to 1665.27 again. That's my guess. I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know if it'll really play out. But this definitely looks like an evening star reversal. So if we're going to pull back any further, if we're going to break the 1700 price, that means we're going to pull back probably a little bit more. This could be a retest of a neckline up in here at 1665, so that's still possible. And then we could always have a gap up and really rally. So if we're able to gap up and open above like 1750, it could really just run. So I guess we'll keep an eye out and see what's going to happen, and we'll just continue to watch on the 5-minute and try and take a little bit of bigger picture. But yeah, kind of a slower day. So hope you enjoyed this video. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.